Hi, it's Justina here from Flight of the Phoenix Holistic Therapy. Today, we're talking about patterns. We all have them. It's basically our behaviors, thoughts, beliefs that we acquire through our life um, by trying different things and sticking to what works for us. Um, Usually formed quite early in our lives. These are patterns that we make our decisions based on, and basically, whatever worked in the past, we believe it's going to work in the future. So, how to recognize them is to probably notice where you're feeling stuck always. And I'm going to give you an example out of my life where I keep repeating pattern, and then we can talk about how to shift it. But first, let me give you my real life experience. Quite common pattern for me is to focus on a project. It can be a job, relationship, it can be a new hobby or something new that I want to pursue. I'm excited, elevated about it. I really work really hard. I push through. I disregard the body signs that I need rest. I don't do things that I should be doing, like journaling, meditating, taking breaks. I just push through. I just work really hard. And I can go like that for year or two or more, depending what the situation is or who's involved. And then when I feel like I'm not being sufficiently compensated or there is no sufficient reward for all that hard work that I'm putting in, then I start slowly the giving up process and seeking a new adventure because the grass is always greener on the other side. And that kind of pattern worked for me. First time when I left my country and when I tried something new, I completely changed my life by moving to UK. And I made the decision that put me on a new course, and that those decisions paid off. That's why I'm here. I'm not back in my country and living what I would think wouldn't be the right life for me. So obviously, I have tangible example of me making choice of jumping into completely new reality where it worked at the time. But this no longer works for me. For instance, when I decided to drop corporate career to become a yoga teacher. I done it. I worked really hard. I went to India. I practiced for um, 3 months every day, a lot of hours. I think I done 500-hour training straight away because we need to do it right. I studied it heavily. I came back to Australia. I taught it, and I started building the hours I was working, and I was teaching up to 20 hours a week of yoga classes. And then obviously there's additional time of preparation, choosing the music, the poses, and all in between. And suddenly you find yourself working a long hours, starting very early in the morning and finishing very late at night. And I burned out. And COVID happened, and then I decided to go back to corporate because that was the only option for me to survive. Now, that was example when my hard work and no break and impatience did not work. That was the first time my regular pattern that I was keep repeating, rinse and repeat, did not provide the same results. I did not win. And at the end, I gave up. So that pattern is quite dominant in my life. It's something I'm constantly working with, and I'm experiencing all the time. And the first step, obviously, as you can see, I'm very aware of this pattern. I know that every time I get stuck, it's because I overworked myself, I built a resentment, I started blaming entire world for why you people can't see what I'm doing, how great I am, how hard I'm working. And then obviously that giving up portion where, well, if you don't see me now, I will take myself away. So you don't need to see me anymore. It's kind of like a punishment, as they say, becoming a child and throwing your toys out of the pram or whatever you call it. So it is how you call it, trauma response, obviously. Something that used to work for me doesn't work anymore. But currently I'm at the stage where, yes, I know I'm aware of the pattern. I would like to change this pattern. What do I do? So journaling is big thing, and for a long time I had quite a resistance against writing. I don't know why, because once I start, I can't stop. So, writing seems to be a good idea for me, but there is a resistance. Perhaps self-sabotage, where my protective mind does not want me to discover something that might make us feel uncomfortable. So yes, journaling. So that's one of the ways to shift your patterns. Obviously, meditation, taking regular breaks, meditate, connect with yourself, learn about yourself. The whole process around healing and shifting is about learning first who you are. What are your triggers? What are your patterns? What are your behaviors, thoughts, emotions? And then slowly start shifting them. But to shift something and to be aware of something, you have to pause. And when you're running and keeping yourself constantly busy because there is another thing, another project, another person, um, all shiny new toys, is not always healthy, and it keeps your attention externally rather than internally where the issue is. If you keep seeing that the situations change, the people change, but you're still hitting the same feeling of stuckness and hit the ceiling, it's clearly you're repeating a pattern. You're doing the same thing, expecting something else. So we need to shift that. Easier said than done, obviously. Therefore, yes, journaling, meditating, questioning your behavior is important. And then obviously being accountable to someone. I have my own therapist. I go to therapy myself. I know it's proven. Tool that works for me, that I can discuss my concerns, feelings, emotion, thoughts with someone objective outside of myself, um, that can help me learn more about who I am. And of course, I believe we all should have a therapist. We all should have someone. That's kind of why I went into this uh, in becoming one. And why I believe that it works. It's very good to have a objective person out there supporting you and listening, becoming a witness to your experience, because I feel this is what we all need. We need someone to witness our pain, to witness our thought process, to witness our grief, acknowledge it. Um, with honesty and vulnerability, because so many of us are running, and friends sometimes are not enough if you keep repeating the same story, because you're stuck. You keep repeating, they get bored of it, get tired of it. It's like, oh, you should move on already by now. Well, therapists won't tell you that, since you're paying them. But yes, so it's good to kind of have someone, and that's the fourth tool to help you shift. So we're saying journaling, mindfulness, meditation, whatever that means to you, uh, support, coach, friends, therapist, and obviously questioning yourself. Why am I thinking like this? Why am I doing those things? Um, Now, building awareness is not easy for everyone. It is for me because obviously obviously it's not obvious. I built my awareness in my environment because that was needed for me to survive. So I'm very aware of my surrounding, of people's behaviors, emotions, facial expressions, what they mean, and things like that. I can read between the lines. Therefore, it is easy for me to look at myself with that same discernment, the same awareness. Um, but if you don't see yourself, you're not aware of your patterns, meditation is the first step, pausing. And meditation can be anything. You don't have to sit on the pillow and pretend that the thoughts are not flowing constantly through your mind, because it's impossible. And you can start with something basic like guided meditation. There are plenty of apps for this: Insight Timer, Calm, Headspace, just to name a few. And you can listen to music, that's a meditation. You can do gardening, that's a meditation. You can go to yoga class, it's part of meditation. So whatever you really enjoy doing that makes you present in time is meditation. And this is the first step to building that awareness. Once we're present and aware, then we can see ourselves, observe ourselves as if we are outside of ourselves. Yes, so that is the message for today. Become aware, see your patterns, and if you don't like them and they don't work anymore for you, change them one step at a time. Thanks. Bye.